What is up, guys? Brady back with another TBC Enhancement Shaman video. Today, we're going to be going over something that a lot of you guys have been asking for, and that is TBC pre-patch best in slot gear. Since pre-patch best in slot gear is going to be pretty hard for a lot of us to get, including myself, it's pretty unreasonable just to put the best gear that you can get in Nax, right? So I made 3 different sets of gear. We're going to call them Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Tier 1 being the easiest to get, and Tier 3 being the hardest. Let's go ahead and start with Tier 1. So since I am making 3 different armor sets, this could be a very lengthy video. So I'm going to just choose to not go over every specific single item in every set, just so the video doesn't end up being like half an hour long or something crazy. So just then you guys know, you can pause the video whenever you want, if you want to like note down any of the items that I have on the set. And I will also have every single one of the links to the set, Tier 1, 2, and 3 in the description below. So if you want to find out more about any of the pieces in the sets, just go ahead and click the link below. Okay, so with Tier 1, this is the very easy set to get for the most part. There's a lot of pieces in here that are BOE. The pieces that are included in this set are a combination of BOE pieces, some pieces that you have to grind Alterac Valley Reputation for, which it really isn't that hard. Just to get Exalted, you get 3 really good pieces. A couple quests for dungeons that you can start at level 58, or while you're leveling, you can get these quests done. And then 1 or 2 pieces where you have to do a dungeon or 2. So just to go over a couple notable pieces on here outside of the BOE pieces, we have the Sky Fury Helm, which is just a shaman quest that you can pick up at level 58. Super easy. I think it ends up being a dungeon quest. You can get this pretty easily. A couple BOEs, like a couple pieces of the black Dragon Scale set. Frostwolf Legionnaire's Cloak, which is Alterac Valley rep as well, with the belt, and then the ring. Don Julio's band is amazing. I actually might have this almost in every set because it's just that good of a ring. Frostbite, which is either Exalted or Revered with the Alterac Valley rep. I'm not sure which one it is, but this is a amazing axe, to be honest. It's slow and it has 15 strength. So this is not a bad axe at all to be going into TBC with. And the only reason I have Annihilator on here is because I am doing a melee cleave from 60 to 70 on launch. I'm dungeon cleaving with a rogue and a fury warrior. So I am bringing the Annihilator because it's going to have about 600 reduced armor on every target that I'm going to be attacking. So it's just gonna boost the damage of the group, as far as I know. I haven't tested it yet. I might actually make a video on that, but that's going to be interesting. So that's the only reason I have this on this set as of now. Moving on to Tier 2 set. It's definitely a much less flattering looking set. There's a couple interesting pieces in here, though. We do have the High Warlord's Cleavers, which will be easily acquired during pre-patch. Basically, all the High Warlord's gear is going to be pretty easy to get when pre-patch comes out. So I just threw those axes on there because you just grind a little bit, and then you can get some really good axes going into TBC launch with. I also have Edgemaster's Handguards, which is interesting. Expertise is just going to be really good for TBC. I know it's a super expensive piece, but I just wanted to throw it in there just to remind you guys of how good this piece really is. I still do have the Devil's Sword leggings on here, because there really aren't a lot of other good legs that are kind of easy to get. So this is, you know, easy to get, and it's going to last you a while for sure. Savage Gladiator Chain might be kind of hard. I'm pretty sure the drop chance of this increases during pre-patch though, and TBC, so maybe it's not too far out of reach when pre-patch comes around. With the Tier 2 set, it's gonna be a bit more grindy than the first one. The first tier was kind of a set that if you boost the shaman, or if you just hit level 60 in a shaman, you can get a lot of the pieces very quickly. A lot of them are BOE, grind AV a little bit, and then maybe do like 1 or 2 dungeons. This one is a little bit more grindy. You have to do ZG for the belt. You have to do, I think, AQ20 for the helmet. The Southwind helm is from AQ, as well as the shoulders, I believe. So this is kind of a set that, if you have a bit more time to grind during pre-patch, you know, you can get some rage out of the way. A lot of these pieces will not be too hard to get. So with Tier 3, obviously see a lot more purple on your screen now. Got the Crown of Destruction from Ragnaros. A lot of people would argue that the helmet from the last tier, Tier 2, could compete with this, but the stats are so close. I just wanted to throw this on there just to remind you guys that you can get a very good helmet from Molten Core. A lot of these pieces are unfortunately from Naxxramas, which I will probably not be able to get much in during pre-patch. So, you know, a lot of this is pretty unrealistic for probably a lot of you guys and as well as myself. Kind of just wanted to make a really nice looking good set for some of you guys that actually might be able to grind some of these pieces out. We got the Castigator from Nax as well as the Hatchet of Sundered Bone. Pretty insane axes. Both 2.6 speed, some good hit, some good attack power on both. There's a couple trinkets that you could switch out for these. I just wanted to throw the Mark of the Champion on here because going into TBC with Mark of the Champion is just going to be insane. I envy anyone that will have this trinket equipped going into some of the dungeons to grind up. There's 150 more flat attack power fighting undead and demons is just, it's just absurd, man. We got the Kiss of the Spider as well. There is another trinket, I think, from Nax. I'm unfortunately not too familiar with high-end classic gear. But I know that there is another trinket. I think it's an on-use attack power one, but I just wanted to throw the haste one on there because it's cool. The old Totem of Rage from Blackrock Depths is still Biss, so just try to get this if it's possible because the other totem that will be good for you which is the Totem of Astral Winds, I think it's called. It's just the increased attack power on your Wind Fury attacks. So it's pretty much Totem of Rage and then Heroic Mana Tubes, basically, right? So, but yeah, a lot of these pieces are gonna be pretty hard for a lot of us to get, but you guys can farm these pieces out. You're gonna go into launch just absolutely smacking Cajun Dungeon Cleave, man. And honestly, even considering putting the Annihilator in your offhand, just with like Flame Tongue or something, might be worth it, depending on what cleave you're running, dungeon cleave you're running from 60 to 70. Since I am doing melee, I really am looking at the Annihilator to be just a nasty weapon, with 3 people benefiting from the 600 reduced armor. I think it's just gonna shred targets, man. All right, and that wraps up TBC pre-patch best in slot Enhancement Shaman gear. I know that a lot of you guys will probably have some questions about some of the pieces that I threw in here. I'm not claiming to be like a master of pre-patch Biss or anything like that. I'm really not that familiar with classic gear. I just found a bunch of really good pieces. I just wanted to throw together for you guys. Easily accessible, not that difficult, and then very difficult. So I hope that a lot of this made sense. I didn't want to dive too deep into it and make a super long video for some of you guys. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, just please feel free to comment below and I will get back to as many of you as I can. Thanks for watching, guys.